Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to share with you my January beauty favorites. So if you guys are interested in seeing what I've been loving for the month of January, then just keep on watching. Alright, so I'm going to start off with something from one of my subscription boxes, and this is a primer that I got in my BoxyCharm. This is the Dr. Brandt Primer. It's called the Luminizer Primer. It's the Pores No More Luminizer Primer. They already have a Pores No More primer that's like very similar to the Benefit Professional, but this is more of a pore filling primer that is also hydrating, so I actually really like that. It is illuminating too, like it does have that pink tint to it that a lot of glowy primers have, but it doesn't have like that glittery or like super where it looks like just like you put on highlighter before your foundation. So this is what it looks like. It's a little bit creamier and it's a little moussey too. So it's not like the Professional or the Pore No More where it comes out like a lot thicker. And this one is super lightweight, but it's still pore filling. So that's why I like it. I always wear very hydrating, super lightweight, basically like moisturizers as primers. Sometimes I actually just do that. But I really like this one because it is pore filling, but it doesn't feel thick or heavy. It doesn't feel like, it does have silicone, I do believe. The ingredients aren't on here, but it doesn't have that like slippery texture to it at all. It really sinks into your skin and still like gives you that coverage for your pores. So that's why I really like this one. And then this is actually a different kind of primer for me too. And this is from my everyday makeup drawer. And I've had this in my collection forever, but I didn't actually try it out until this month. So this is the Step 1 Mattifying Primer from Makeup Forever. And I hadn't even opened this until this month, and I've had it for a few months. I got it at Generation Beauty. And I was actually surprised that the texture is more of like a thicker texture, but then it feels like a cooling gel when you blend it out, and then it just becomes very lightweight and natural. It's really quick and easy to blend into your skin, and it is mattifying. So a lot of times with like mattifying primers, I just think of like primers that are heavy and dry out your skin. I don't know where I'm getting this idea because I never wear mattifying primers. Maybe I had like a bad experience like 4 years ago or something with a primer. But this one is so awesome if you like very lightweight feeling primers, which I think we all do, but you want something mattifying that isn't gonna feel thick going on, and it feels like very natural. So I really love this one, especially if you don't like primers that feel like slippery. This one just feels like a gel when you blend it in. It's so cool. So I really like this, and I'm not like a mattifying primer person. I'm not like a super matte face makeup person. I actually always start off my makeup like super dewy. I go in with hydrating primers, sprays, like everything to give me like very dewy, hydrated skin. And then I'm like, okay, that's too dewy, and I go in with like all these mattifying primers or powders. So using a mattifying primer is very different for me, but I really like it, and especially because I've been using it with the foundation that I'm going to talk about next, which is not as matte as some other foundations that I've been using. So the foundation I've been loving this month, and you guys already know, I've talked about it in a couple of videos already, like in the past 2 weeks, the NARS Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. This stuff is awesome. I'm wearing it today. Yeah, I'm wearing it today. I've been wearing it almost every day this month. I have been liking another foundation too that I am going to talk about in a future video, but this is what I've been wearing pretty much since the day I got it. I love it so much. I wear the shade Fiji. That is my perfect match, and I love it. I just love this foundation because it looks like skin, it feels like skin, it stays put all day for me, and I have dry skin. I have seen other people do reviews where they do get oily throughout the day with this foundation because it's definitely not a really matte foundation. But I just love the finish. It stays in place for me. I don't have any issues with it. So I'm definitely obsessed with the finish of this foundation, and I really like that it goes with every single makeup look. That's what I talked about in my review. Sometimes you have foundations that are like full coverage matte and you like them for certain makeup or like certain eye looks, and sometimes you have something that's like very glowy that you like for certain style of makeup. And sometimes I change up my foundations based on like a different eye look or lip color, just to see like how much coverage I want for my skin, what other products I'm going to be using, whether I'm going to use like a shimmery blush, stuff like that. But this works with everything because it just gives you a very like nice canvas for your skin, and it goes with everything. And even with super minimal makeup, it looks really good because your skin looks really healthy. It looks very natural, but then also with full coverage, very like dramatic makeup, it still looks good as well because it gives you just the right amount of coverage too. And I did say in my review it's more of like medium coverage, but you could definitely build it up to full coverage. I don't find that I need any more coverage with this foundation. I'm totally cool. And I usually don't go for super full coverage, so that's something to keep in mind too, but I'm just absolutely loving that foundation. I'll link my review below in case you guys want to see like a demo and more about it. So for the past 2 months, I've really been loving this face powder, and this is the Luminous face powder from Lactic. I wear this shade Fair. This is the lightest one. They have fair, light, medium, and deep, I believe, but they all run a little bit darker, so I actually thought I would be the shade medium, but fair is the shade I wear. And I also wear this more to like highlight. I use it under my eyes, I use it down the center of my face. I don't use it all over, but I love it. I use it every single day, so I always use translucent powders. But lately I've been trying to use a little bit less translucent powder. I still use it under my eyes and all over my face, but I'm trying to do like the bare minimum and not like cake it on. I never really have, but I'm just trying to use just what I need to set my makeup and not any extra, especially because the powders I've been using lately, Cover FX, the Too Faced powder, those are like $30, and before I was using like $5 powders. So I'm trying to use less of my translucent powders just to set my makeup. And then for the finish of my makeup, I love using this, especially under my eyes, because it is a little bit luminous. So the powder has a very satin feel to it. It is a luminous powder, but it's not a like highlighting powder. It doesn't have shimmer to it. It just has this very nice sheen that looks very natural. So sometimes I just like to apply like down the center of my face, especially around my forehead. I like to apply it there too, just to give it a little bit more glow and just to kind of smooth over my skin. It kind of feels like a filter effect because that luminosity just like stops emphasizing any texture or pores on my forehead. Even though that might not make sense because it is luminous, you might think that it attracts it, but it just makes it look a little bit more natural and less matte, so it looks like you're wearing even less makeup. So I definitely just keep going back to that. And if you guys want to pick this up, definitely maybe go a shade lighter, especially if you want to use it like under your eyes and stuff, because it does run a bit deeper. So definitely check that out. And then another thing I've been using every single day, pretty much every day this month, and I've been using it way too much. This is the Chocolate Gold bronzer from Too Faced. I'm wearing it today. Yes. I go in even and wear like other bronzers, and then I'll go back and put this bronzer on top of whatever I'm wearing and just wear way too much bronzer. And I'm totally fine with that because I love this bronzer so much. And I was so excited about this bronzer, and like my go-to bronzer that's shimmery for years is the Sweet Tea bronzer from Too Faced. And you guys can tell, like, I can swatch them in a second, but this one is way darker than this one. So if this one is too light for you, then definitely check this one out. But I put on so much of this Chocolate Gold bronzer. It's such a pretty like olive tone, so it doesn't look orange. I just love the finish, and it doesn't look shimmery either. There is like that sheen to it. It has a luminosity to it, but it doesn't look like you put glitter all over your face. It's definitely too warm and not matte enough to use as a contour, but if you don't like to contour and you just like to use a little bit of bronzer, this is definitely totally fine. You're not gonna look like you have a lot of shimmery bronzer on your face. So I really, really love this, and I'm going to swatch it next to Sweet Tea. So this is Sweet Tea on top. They look so similar on camera. Okay, there you go. Maybe you guys can tell that Sweet Tea is probably like 2 shades lighter than Chocolate Gold. So they're very similar. If you have Sweet Tea, you will probably like this one. If you find Sweet Tea to be very like too natural, then you will probably really like this one. And I love the smell of it. It smells like hot chocolate. So every time that I dip my brush into it, that's exactly what the smell smells like. And then if you get a little bit, like sometimes I'll get like the powder and I'll taste it and it makes me happy, even though you shouldn't eat makeup, I don't think. But it still makes me happy. So I love the smell, I love the finish, I love the color. So I usually use like a contour color first as like my base, and then I'll just go in with a little bit of this or a lot of it, because I get carried away with it because I get so excited about it, but that is totally okay because it's worth it. I love that bronzer. So moving on to eyes, the palette that I've been using the most this month and also last month because I didn't do a December favorites, this is the Too Faced Chocolate Gold palette. You guys know I've been loving this. I did a tutorial over the holidays and this shade is like what makes the palette for me. It's this shade right here, Rich Girl. It's like this chrome color that can just go with everything, and I'm just getting different ideas just looking at this palette of different looks that I want to keep doing with it. So I will probably do a couple more on my Instagram in the next couple weeks because I want to play with it more and do like more tutorials with it. But I've been using a lot of like the neutral shades for like everyday look, and then I've been using this green shade a lot too for the lower lash line. I used that in my chocolate gold palette review video. And I want to play with the purple shades. I want to do a purple look with this palette too. And Drippin' Diamonds. I think I've used that maybe once, but I want to use it more. But Rich Girl, this is my favorite shade in the whole palette. Let me swatch it for you guys. It's such a pretty color because it's not like silver. It's like bronze, but it's also a little bit cool tone. That's just so pretty. Oh, I want to like put that on my eyes right now. That is such a pretty color and I've been loving this palette. I don't find that I need to reach for other palettes with this palette, but I am going to try to do some looks where maybe I could do like an all purple look and maybe go into a different palette to get some purple transition shades. Because definitely for everyday looks, if you guys just stick to kind of this half of the palette where you get more neutral colors, you can definitely just use the matte shades in here. You're not going to have to dip into other palettes, but I do want to play with some of more colorful shades and get some like other colors to use with this palette so I can get more creative with it. But this has definitely been a go-to. I love the formula. This is the best Too Faced palette I've gotten, I think, since the Sweet Peach palette in like almost 2 years. So this is probably my favorite Too Faced palette other than that, and I have so many of them. So definitely, if you guys have seen this palette and you're intimidated by some of the colorful shades, realize you have so many neutrals for everyday, like very quick, like 5-minute makeup looks too that you can play with. So for sure, this is a very versatile palette and the formula is just amazing. The shimmers just swatch so good. They are very unique colors. You also get a lot of like very staple colors too, so I just love this palette. And then other than that, you guys have seen me wear this a lot on my eyes in the past month, and this is one of the eyeshadow trios from Smashbox. They sent me all of the eyeshadow trios, and this is the one I've worn the most. I've been wearing this probably like 3 times a week all month. This is the one in hashtag goals. And I do believe these are a little pricier, like $25 or so. So it is expensive for what you're getting, but I just keep reaching for it because it's very convenient to use alongside another palette, and it just has all the colors that I need in this specific trio. I like a lot of the trios. I've been using a lot of them. I have a bunch of them like in front of me right now. This other one in Nudie Pink Medium, this is an all matte trio. This is what I use. Like I use both of these on my eyes like every other day this month, one or the other. I've been using these. This of course is just like a basic matte trio, so it's not maybe something you want to spend your money on if you're going to buy any of them, unless you need these shades to use alongside another palette. But then if you're like in the opposite situation where you have a palette, it has all the shades you need except for like that one shade, and you don't want to bring a whole separate palette, you want like that lid color for some reason, and a certain palette doesn't have it for you. I just can imagine a lot of different situations I'm going to be in where I'm going to travel with this eyeshadow trio. So this is the one that I really like because I use all the shades, and I use both of these lighter shimmer shades for a lid color, and then I love this dark brown shade because it's also a little bit shimmery, and that's what I really like in dark brown shades to like build up on the outside of my eye. That's what I have going on today. Not with this, I used a different palette for that, but that's what I really like because that way it doesn't really close off your eye. I like to have a little shimmer in my darker colors, especially like for the lower lash line and stuff. So that's why I really, really love this trio specifically, because it just has those right shades that I love to use for my lid, the 2 tones that I use the most, and then a dark brown with shimmer, which I don't find in all my neutral palettes, or like a lot of my go-to palettes don't have that shade. So this is just super convenient. And then these are the shades in hashtag goals. So this is definitely my favorite out of all of them. I think if you were to pick up any of them, you would get a lot of use out of this one. There's some colorful shades, there's a ton of different shades, and this is definitely my favorite. So that one is for sure my favorite. Let me know if you guys are similar to me where you don't want to like take a lot of makeup with you on the go, and that's why I really like this product. I think I've said that a million times, but I've just been missing something like that from my collection, and there's so many times when I'm traveling and I just get so frustrated just having one palette with me, but I don't want to bring 5 palettes either. So that makes me super excited about that specific eyeshadow trio. That just, I would have liked to have that over the holidays, just in different occasions. So I've been super obsessed with it. You guys have seen me wear it like in half my videos in the past month. And then another thing you guys have seen me wear a lot, including today, is eyeliner, winged eyeliner, which I wore probably twice in 2017. And I've been using this Schwing liner from The Balm, and I remember decluttering this like maybe this time last year because I'm so obsessed with my Physicians Formula one. Do I have it in front of me? Yes. This is what I mentioned in my last video, this eyeliner. I've been repurchasing it for like 2 years. It's awesome. It's a felt tip. It's just my go-to. And it's actually a brush tip, not a felt tip, but still, I love this eyeliner. And I'm just so used to like using my eyeliner like this. And this one, like the product is inside, and I can't think of another eyeliner like this. I think Maybelline has one. And then this is actually a felt tip, so it's not a brush tip. So it was completely different to me the first time that I used this. So I had this a long time ago. I ended up decluttering it because I just never ended up using it. It just dried out. And they sent this to me with the Meet Matchmaker palette about a month ago, and I've been using this so much. It's so black, and you can get like a line so quickly, like a straight line, so easy to apply. I've actually been doing my eyeliner after my foundation and everything else. Like, it's super easy to use. And if you're not used to eyeliners like this, you might need to try it out like 3 times before you get a hang of like how to use it, how much product's gonna come out, because that was definitely like a little bit of a learning curve. I've had a couple rough days when I first started using it, but then once you get used to it, it's so easy. So I've just been super excited about wearing wing liner lately. It's just empowering to wear wing liner now that it's so quick and easy. And I wasn't wearing it before, but like new year, new me, and I'm all about eyeliner right now. So that's really exciting. I love products like that change my makeup style. I really like that. So I've been super excited about that. Like, I know it's just like eyeliner, but it's exciting to me. And then next we have lip products. I think that's it. So what I'm wearing today is Fair Game from Smashbox. I brought this up in a couple different videos in the past 2 months. I did a PR unboxing, I think around Christmas, and Smashbox sent me a bunch of these lip colors, and I've been wearing them so much. This one is a new shade. I love it to death. It's on my lips. Why am I swatching it? Well, there you go. You can see it swatched too. But I love this shade so much. It's like a cool tone nude color. It goes with everything. So anytime I've been doing a really colorful look, and I have a couple videos planned with colorful looks, I always wear this because it goes with anything. It's something that, like, if you need a very neutral lip, you need all the attention to be on the rest of your makeup, this is perfect. And it's just perfect for every day. I love it. These are super long wearing, so I love this formula so much. I think I have eyeliner all over my arm. But anyways, this is so pretty, especially if you like really like cool tone lip looks, or not even super cool tone, but something that's not like a peachy nude or a brownish nude. You want something very neutral that's not going to change the undertone of the rest of your makeup. Definitely go for this shade. It's super perfect. And then the darker shade that I really love is Deep Thoughts. You guys have seen me wear this anytime I've been wearing a brownish lip color in the past couple weeks. It is this one. Ooh, I just love this shade. It looks so pretty and like bold without being like too vampy or too brown either. So this one has just been a go-to for me. It's darker, but it's also not like so dramatic either. And then lastly, for lip colors, this is actually something I've had for 4 months. I reviewed it on my channel. I wasn't like super into it. I liked it, but I never really picked it up again. But I've been seeing so many people wear this. This is the Gloss Bomb from Fenty Beauty, and I totally forgot I had this. Like, I had it probably in my car or something, in like a purse that I never use for a couple months. And then I've seen a lot of people wear this in videos lately, so that's what made me want to like revisit it. It has like a big applicator to it. It is more of like a shimmery nude, and it also has like a peachy pink undertone. And usually with lip glosses, I like to go for something that's a little bit lighter, basically like this lip color, where it's more cool tone, something that's like more of a pale nude and kind of neutralizes my lips and doesn't add a lot more pink or peach to my lips, but I've been really loving this lately, and it does have like a taste to it. It reminds me of like maybe like a kid's cough medicine, like something that's like cherry Tylenol. I know that sounds awful, but I don't mind it. Before, it was just like a little too overpowering for me, but I've been just wearing this a lot more regularly, so like I get used to it and I don't like notice it as much. So if you guys have tried this, let me know what the scent reminds you of, because to me, I want to say it's children's Tylenol, which I have not had in like 15 years, but it just like brings me back to like a certain scent from my childhood, and I believe that's it. But let me know what you guys think about the scent if you have tried this. But other than that, I really like the formula. I like the finish of it. I love wearing it on its own with more like natural makeup looks, or just like everyday or no makeup looks. I've just been going for this a lot. I've been into glosses when I'm not wearing those other lip colors, like literally for the past month, probably month and a half. This is all that I've been putting on my lips. Alright guys, so that is everything for today's video. I hope you enjoyed hearing about my January favorites. I will leave all my favorites in my description box, as well as the makeup I'm wearing today. I already know that the eyeshadow I'm wearing today will be in my February favorites, but I only tried it for the first time. So I will leave it linked in my description box as well. Let me know your favorites in the comments below. And if you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll talk to you guys soon in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.